What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and if you thought Android 4.1 was the latest version of Android, think again. Android is going up to 4.2, but it's still called Jelly Bean, which is kind of interesting. Android 4.2 is now available on the Galaxy Nexus. We're going to take a look in the hands-on and see if this is the best Android software version yet. Android 4.2 has arrived on the Galaxy Nexus, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the changes to this mostly evolutionary software bump from Android 4.1. But first, to the confusion, it's still called Jelly Bean, even though it's a different version of Android. It's Android 4.1, Android 4.2, they're both called Jelly Bean. I kind of propose that they come up with something like Android 4.2 Jelly Beans, the Jelly Belly edition, or Popcorn Jelly Beans, or something more exciting, but I guess that would throw off their naming scheme. The Galaxy Nexus has been out for some time, but it does get quite the latest software updates when it comes to Google supporting their unlocked devices. This is the unlocked version. This is not Sprint or Verizon. So let's jump right in and take a look at some of the improvements. First of all, from the lock screen, this is where you're going to see one of the biggest differences. You'll notice when I turn it off and on that the sides kind of light up briefly, and that is kind of indicative of some different shortcuts we've got from the lock screen now. So you got your lock button over here. I can press that, and it can either unlock by swiping over, and that's really it there. That's all you got out of the box right there. The clock's different, but then what you can do is scroll over. Take a look at this, for example. Let's see if I can do it. Actually, I may need to access it. I was having issues with this earlier. I believe I swiped. There we go. Perfect. And you can add widgets directly to the lock screen. So let's say, you know what, you don't want to unlock your device every single time you need to check a message, but you can have a widget right here and do it from here. So we can add a new one. Let's do just 611. Hi there. I just want to set up a message so it shows up on the lock screen. We'll go back and see if it shows up right there, and we'll swipe. Let's see here. Swipe over. I believe it's and I can press the clock as well. I can do that. And you got some different shortcuts there as well. The clock app has been changed. We'll talk about that briefly in just a few minutes. But let's go over here and swipe. And then 611, you can see hi there. It's now available, and I can scroll back and forth through my Gmail without having to worry about actually unlocking the device. When I'm ready, I can click and unlock and go right in. So that's a nice little shortcut. If you're like me, you're checking an email really quickly, or checking a text message, and you can easily access those things that matter most, along with a camera. Boom. We'll go that. We'll swipe over. Camera. And then there is your camera. This kind of leads me into another really, really unique feature here. This is called, I'm going to show you. Boom. Actually, let's take a picture first. And let's see, it's going to be kind of hard to demonstrate this on camera, but basically what I'm doing is taking a gigantic picture, kind of a photo wheel, if you will. And let's go down here and take one. And here. And here you see I'm kind of lining it up with this dot. Boom. 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 And when I'm done, I can hit done, and that picture is saved. So these are kind of interesting. You can share these with people through Google Plus and more. It provides a different alternative to panorama, to typical pictures, to front-facing camera shots, and more. That's a unique feature to Android 4.2. Also, another one that I'm finding particularly enjoyable, the notifications look basically the same here, and it's rendering the panorama here, as you can see. But I like this feature as well. I can flip back and forth. And granted, you know my frustration with Android, with the stock version and with Motorola's version as well, the lack of a physical battery percentage indicator. It's getting a little bit easier to access. I can click and see 80% battery remaining, and if I click on it further, it'll bring me into the advanced battery settings. Still, I'd like to see that right up here on the screen alongside the signal strength indicator and a clock. I don't think it's that hard for them to enable that. I'd really like to see that. But you still got your ability to remove notifications from the home screen, from the notification bar. Got my Aaron Baker profile. When I click on that, it's going to bring up my contact card to view the Google Plus profile. That's where it's pulling the picture from. Then I've got brightness, settings, Wi-Fi off, T-Mobile, and more. And just by clicking that button, I can easily flip back and forth between those. Airplane mode, Bluetooth off, all of your kind of commonly used things that you would expect people to use on a regular basis. To access Google Now, you press and hold home and swipe up to Google. And you've got some new features. Or I shouldn't say new features, but it's definitely just as accessible. Google, what's the weather like in Dallas?
72 degrees and partly cloudy in Dallas.
So we've got our weather, and then I can see through Thanksgiving it looks like it's going to be a little bit rainy on Thursday and Friday, and then of course I can swipe down to my search results. So nothing new there by any means, but still Kind of nice to have that feature. Also, let's go back in here to camera and take a look. The buttons have changed, and let me just take a still picture, or normal picture I should say. I can swipe back and forth between the film strip view, and I can jump right back into the live camera itself. So not necessarily new with Android 4.2, but you can see the overall transitions, and kind of the look and feel is a little bit different from Android 4.1. And of course, you've got the ability here to flip between camera stuff. I can go into my recording capabilities. All I have to do is touch to take the photo. Bam, bam, bam. And so I've got that ability as well. So it's really nice that they're updating this and kind of bringing even a device as old as the Galaxy Nexus, comparatively speaking, it's nice to see them bring it up into 2012 with a nice software update. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of Android 4.2. We'll bring this back into some dog fights and more, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. Let me know what you think. If you have a Galaxy Nexus that's unlocked, you've installed the update, let me know if you like it more or you'd rather go back to Android 4.1. You'd be surprised at what people say. That sounds like a pretty easy question, but you'd be surprised. Some people will miss previous versions of software. Sometimes you get used to something and it's kind of hard to switch back. Let me know what you think. PhoneDog_Aaron on Twitter. Thanks for watching. Have a great Thanksgiving. And as always, we'll see you next time.